welcome back. I appreciate you joining me today. I hopped on here maybe about a minute early because I want to check the settings on the computer, make sure that I'm showing up on the feed. Be back in a minute. Okay, we are a little bit of a delay on here, so bear with me. Oh, there I am. Yay! Hi, everybody. Okay, let me see if I can expand this. That way I can see your comments. Okay, hey, welcome. I'm glad you joined me today. We are going to make some of the May Stamp Club projects. I'm going to make 2 of the projects today, and then tomorrow I'll make 2 more, and then on Thursday I'll make the last 2. I thought I was going to be like super like tech savvy today. Sorry. Thought I was going to be super tech savvy today, and I was going to set up Zoom, and then I was going to have it like mirror my screen on my iPhone so that we'd be like picture in picture, and then like maybe later on, if that worked beautifully, y'all could join me on Zoom and then we could all craft together. That's not going to happen today because Zoom is having trouble connecting with Facebook. Apparently that's been an issue for the last couple of weeks on and off. So even though I was able to test drive it on my Facebook group for my team last week, it's not working today. So we're going to go the old-fashioned way. So guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn my camera down so that we can start on the projects. If you already have, I know some of y'all have the kit that was mailed to you. If you have that and you want to grab it, grab your black ink pad and your stamp set that you want to use, come grab it and you can craft with me today. If you don't have the May kit, you can pull the file from the tutorials and make some of your own. Just a moment, guys. Get my camera in position. Don't want to make y'all seasick. So I'm putting that little screen on for you. Okay. Let's give it a go and put it back. Okay, I may adjust it here in a minute, but these are the 2 cards that we are making today. I really did not know what I was going to do for the May Stamp Club, to be honest with you. So I just kind of started looking around with what I had that I hadn't played with, and I had not played yet much with the Best Dressed Designer Series paper, and I had just gotten in the ornate dies from the Ornate Garden set, which I'm going to show you those in a minute. And I thought, hey, Mother's Day is coming up. It would be awesome to make some really pretty floral cards and pair it with a really nice stamp set. So let me show you the products that I'm using today. The first one is the Strong and Beautiful stamp set. So this is where I pulled all of the sentiments for the May Stamp Club. I just thought, particularly with Mother's Day, and just it'd be the perfect time to be able to share a beautiful card with these sentiments, or just some other woman in your life who means a lot to you. Now, let me show you the really cool new dies. So the new annual catalog is actually coming out in June, on June 3rd. But they have some select items, a suite that you can order now that is called the Ornate Garden Suite. And in it, it has the dies. These are the layer dies. They're basically just almost like little frames. And so what I did for these cards in the May kit is I used some of these dies, but I also used some of the really pretty, beautiful little border dies. So today, I'm actually gonna pull out one of the dies that we're using. I'm actually gonna pull out my Big Shot today. Can you believe it? We're gonna do some Big Shot work. All right, so let's get started making this card. So I have pre-cut most of my supplies, but like I said, you can, if you don't have the supplies already, you can go on ahead and cut your own by pulling the PDF in the files section. So I'm starting off with a card base that measures 5.5 by 7.5, and I just scored it at like 4.25. Okay, so it kind of creates this fold. It's kind of like a little half fold. And the reason why I wanted to do that is I wanted, when I put that real pretty flower edge on it, that the white will show through. So that's why some of it's cut off. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my piece of purple posy cardstock that measures 4.25 by 5.5, and I'm going to grab my Big Shot. Hey guys, I see a bunch of y'all on. Thanks for joining me. Hey Nathan, Janie, I see Cindy, Kim, Judy. It's great to see y'all, Melissa. Love it. Glad you joined me. Okay, so hopefully this will show up in the frame. So what I'm going to do is, this is where you have to be really careful with this die, this particular die. If you will notice on this die, it has, and I'm going to lay it down here, maybe it's easier to see. It has these little points. That is actually indicating that is your cutting edge. So you want to make sure that that is on the outside where you want it cut. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line it up along the edge, and then I'm going to sandwich it in, and then I'm going to run it through the Big Shot. As you can see, we have that right there. Now, I have kind of already prepped one because I'm not going to spend the time knocking all these tiny little pieces out for you. But that kind of gives you an idea. You just want to make sure that you have that particular die cutting edge where those little prongs are. Make sure they're on the outer edge. So that's your cutting edge. Just keep that in mind when you are cutting those. All right, so I already have one that is pre-cut for me. It's actually one that I kind of messed up on, but you know what? You won't be able to tell because I cut it a little too short, but that's okay because we're going to cover it up. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put this on the front of my card on that shorter side. And we're just going to take it. Now normally if I had it all the way, you would just put it all the way to the edge, but I'm just going to line it up a little bit here so that it goes up to this right edge. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch piece of the Gorgeous Grape cardstock, and I'm just going to line it up against the very edge of these cutout flowers because I want to kind of break it up just a little bit, and I want to pull in some other colors from the paper that I'm using. Now, I will tell you, I am going to use a different paper because I ran out of the pattern that I used for the May kit. But, you know what, that's okay, because I had another pattern that works just as well. See, doesn't that look great? And it picks up on the same shape of the flowers. Okay, guys, I got to tell you, designing is not really that easy for me. But you know what? I find that Stampin' Up! Makes it really, really easy because you know what? You just, if you like a particular paper, you just look at the colors that you like, pull some coordinating colors that go with it, and then if you have like little patterns, like little flowers here that match those flowers, they just kind of, it makes it easy for you to be able to put stuff together. You don't have to be creative. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I pre-cut a large label from the Stitch So Sweetly dies in the Gorgeous Grape, and I don't want all of it. I want to make a narrow band right here. So I cut it, I die cut the label. I gotta put on my glasses for this. I can't see, hold on. Who knows what I'll be cutting. All right, and I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna cut off this little rounded edge because I don't want that. I want a narrow label. Okay, so that's a little tip and trick that you can do if you have different dies or punches that you want to use. You don't have to use all of them. You can kind of tweak them to what you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on my card front. Hey Zelda, hey Gloria, Alessandra, my friends. Thanks for joining me. We're just making the first card in the May Stamp Club. And okay, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp our sentiment on this stitch circle. And I use one of my favorite die sets. That is the Stitch Shapes. I gotta tell you, that is one of the best. That is my go-to die set for shapes. So I'm gonna stamp the sentiment. Now this particular sentiment from the Strong and Beautiful stamp set says, God made you my mother, love made you my friend. And I was like, that is so sweet. I love it. Okay, so we're going to take some dimensionals and we're going to put them on the back. And we only have one more thing left for this card, and then we are done with that card. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on there. But I kind of felt like it needs a little bit more. So we're going to add some pearl accents to it. I don't know if I'm in frame there. Sorry if I moved out of frame. Right, there we go, and that card is done. It's just a super simple little card. Like I said, I did not have the same paper, but I just used another paper, and I think it looks just as pretty. I love it. All right, so we're gonna set that one aside, and we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do this second one. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, this is actually my favorite card out of the whole May Stamp Club. I love this card. It's so simple, but it's so pretty. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to take a 4 1/4 by 11 1/2 piece of the Mint Macaron cardstock. I scored it in half at 5 1/2, and then I burnished it already. And then what I did is I took a piece of the Purple Posy print paper from the Best Dressed Designer Series paper, and I cut it to 3 by 5 1/2. So basically you had to use like a sheet of the Designer Series paper. I'm gonna take that, I'm just gonna put it right down the middle the best that I can. And then what I did is I used one of the edge dies. Let me see if I can find it because it's kind of small. But I used this little edge die right here to make the little side accent pieces. And I cut out those side accent pieces in Purple Posy, and I cut 2 of them, 1 for each side. Let's see if I can do this. Kind of a narrow border here. And I'm going to put 1 on one side, and I'm just going to rest it. I'm going to push it up right against that paper, and I'm just going to kind of push down. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. And we're going to push down. Again, just kind of rest it right up against there. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heart that I cut out, and this actually uses the Stitched Be Mine dies, and I'm going to just stamp my sentiment. Now this sentiment again comes from the Strong and Beautiful stamp set. This one says, I cherish you, my true friend. I know I can always count on you. And I'm just going to stamp towards the top of the heart. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to give it a little lift on my card, little dimension. And we're going to put that right there in the middle. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so next one I'm going to do, now remember I was telling you how you can pull elements from the paper to be able to kind of help do some of the design work for you. When I pulled out this paper, I noticed there was these little daisy looking prints in the paper, and I thought, hello, I've got a daisy punch. So I got my medium daisy punch, and I punched out 2 of the daisies with the medium sized one in the Purple Posy. And I'm going to teach you a little trick if you're not familiar with this. What you can do is if you want to give your die cuts a little more like realistic look to them, you can take your bone folder and just very gently just curl them. Just curl the ends. You don't want to be too aggressive or you'll rip off the ends, which I have done before. Get a little too excited. Okay, now what I like to do is I like to layer them backwards. So I have one set going up and I'm going to have one set going down, and I'm just going to nestle them together. And it gives it, because like flowers, they're not like all just up or they're not all down. They're kind of both back and forth, particularly on the daisies. So it gives it like that 3D dimension look to it. And then I'm just going to use a dimensional to adhere it onto my heart, kind of right there at the edge of my heart. That's why I kind of moved the sentiment up a little bit when I was stamping, so I could allow room for my heart. I mean, for my daisies. All right, and then the last thing on here is just adding our little bow. This is the little 1/8 inch mint macaron bow. And that's going to put that right there in the middle of our daisy. And that finishes up that card. There you go. There's our two projects for today. I'm going to come back up. Let me turn this over real quick so I don't make you dizzy. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. Okay guys, that was the two projects for today. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit. If you noticed, that's another technology thing I've been trying to work on. I guess it's this way, yeah, because it's backwards for me. So if you are interested in shopping for any of those products that I showed you, you can shop my online store. If you use that host code, you'll get a little gift from me, little surprise. Also too, I have something to share with you. I've already emailed this to my customers on my email list, but if you're not on the email list, just message me. I can tell you how to get on it. But also too is tomorrow I am starting my annual BOGO sale, which means that for every $1 that you spend in the current catalogs online, or if you want to call me or message me directly, you can order straight through me. You can pick from my retired bin an equal dollar amount for free. So I'm going to actually post that link in this group page and as well on my business page at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow morning. So if you're interested in taking a look at what's in my my retired bin and what you can get for free, you can check that out in the morning. So guys, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and thanks so much for joining me today. Y'all have a blessed day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.